Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Johnson, members of the committee. I appreciate the opportunity to appear before you today for my first time in this incarnation and to lay out my vision for the Department of Energy path forward over the next few years. And I certainly look forward to working with this committee during that time. I'm pleased to be back at the Department. As noted, I served as Undersecretary during the Clinton administration, as well as at OSTP. At MIT, I would just add to the Chairman's description that I also served as head of the Department of Physics, and perhaps of direct relevance here, as Director of the Bates Linear Accelerator Center, which was, at that time, a Department of Energy user facility. So I've seen the Department from that end as well. More recently, I was the founding director of the MIT Energy Initiative. So today, again, I'll lay out a bit of my vision for how the Department can meet some of the pressing challenges before us and touch on some of the initiatives in the President's fiscal year 2014 budget request for the Department. Clearly, I'll start by discussing the science programs, and I want to thank again both the Chairman and the Ranking Member for pointing out the critical role that Department of Energy plays in the science enterprise of this country, and also how science and technology really is the thread that runs through all the diverse missions of the Department. The science programs are crucial to fostering scientific and technological breakthroughs, especially in the physical sciences. Department provides the national science community with unique research opportunities at major facilities for nuclear and particle physics, for energy science, for materials research and discovery, for large-scale computation, and other disciplines. And the President is committed to making investments in R&D that will grow the economy and enable our country to remain competitive. A couple of weeks ago, I made my first trip as Secretary to Oak Ridge National Laboratory, where I saw Titan, then the world's fastest supercomputer. I was told today that yesterday China has now fielded a machine that is now #1, and I might say this area of large-scale computation, modeling and simulation, one in which the Department of Energy has helped this country in its leadership role for many, many decades, is fiercely competitive with China, the EU, Japan, others investing large resources. And in fact, also of interest in China, a stated goal of training 1 million students in the use of high-performance computing for various applications. While at Oak Ridge, I also visited the Consortium for Advanced Simulation of Light Water Reactors along this theme of large-scale computation. This is the first of DOE's, existing energy innovation hubs. I made that slip because MIT is a partner in that hub. In its first 3 years, CASL has already released software that simulates a virtual operating physical reactor. And the President's budget continues support for this and other hubs and proposes a new one in electricity systems, following the recent awards to Argonne and Ames for batteries and energy-critical materials, respectively. The President's budget also continues support for DOE's Energy Frontier Research Centers, run out of the Basic Energy Sciences Office, and these are working to solve specific scientific problems that are barriers to clean energy technology development. The budget request also supports the continuation of DOE's 3 bioenergy research centers, which are very successfully pursuing basic research underlying a range of high-risk, high-return biological solutions for energy applications. Within science, nuclear and particle physics continue to shed light on fundamental properties of matter at the subatomic level. In the nuclear program, we have a robust program operating the relativistic heavy ion collider, continuing the major upgrade at Jefferson Lab in Virginia, and initiating a new facility at Michigan State. In particle physics, we clearly have to consider what is going to be our direction, particularly with Fermilab, our flagship facility, right now pursuing the intensity frontier, and this will be an important development over the next 3 years, how we see the vector for high-energy physics. Let me turn, if I may, briefly to energy technology and policy. As the Chairman noted, in the last 4 years since President Obama took office, the global energy landscape has undergone a profound change. The United States oil and gas production has increased each year, while oil imports have fallen to a 20-year low. At the same time, renewable electricity generation has doubled and should double again in the next several years, and carbon emissions have simultaneously fallen to the lowest level in the U.S. in nearly 2 decades. But even with the increase in domestic oil and gas production, high gasoline prices still impact American families and businesses every day and remind us that we are still too reliant on oil. The President has emphasized there is no silver bullet, but we continue to pursue a multi-pronged approach in terms of efficient vehicles, alternative fuels, and vehicle electrification. Another important focus, one that I've emphasized quite strongly as well, is that on energy efficiency. The President's goal is to double American energy productivity by 2030, saving consumers and businesses money and increasing competitiveness. Efficiency really is the fifth fuel. And of course, we will continue our cutting-edge science and technology research, R&D, to accelerate the transition to a low-carbon economy through cost reduction as the principal goal of innovation. Given the time, I will just say a few words about moving forward with programs like ARPA-E, which I consider to be a critical part of this country's energy innovation system, and also noting how it suggests that we continue to have an enormous amount of untapped innovation capacity that we should try to bring to bear. Finally, in discussing energy, I will note that I also served on President Obama's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology, PCAST, and PCAST at the end of 2010 recommended a new process called a quadrennial energy review for weaving together the many strands that must go into a coherent energy policy. This will require much stronger analytical capabilities, which will be a focus for me in these years, and I look forward to working with the others in the administration, the Congress, industry, NGOs, and others to advance this new approach to quadrennial energy review. In concluding, I will just say that in addition to these mission areas, and of course we also have the nuclear security and environmental remediation areas, but I want to say that improving the management and performance of the Department is one of my top priorities as Secretary. I intend to pursue this in at least 4 areas: better integrating science and energy programs, elevating the focus on management and performance as an enterprise-wide requirement, increasing the analytical capability, as I said, as an essential underpinning for energy technology and policy, and creating clearer lines of authority and responsibility for security across the Department. So in summary, Mr. Chairman, the Department has significant responsibilities that bear on America's economic, energy, environmental, and nuclear security future, and I'm fully committed to working with the Congress in search for solutions. I look forward to our discussion.